for those of you who don't buy any of this, I know some of you are in this room. You're like, this is a sales pitch for not having a good time the rest of my life. Why would I want to do this thing? Calling this freedom feels insane, because freedom is the ability to do what I want. But here you have in verse 2, the law of the Spirit of life has set you free in Christ Jesus. Is Christianity freedom or is Christianity restraint? Is Christianity liberty or is Christianity seatbelt? Is it straitjacket? And I think this question is we have to deal with this honestly. Because so often we are stuck in this mode of thinking that anything that's going to lead me to not have the most pleasure in the soonest amount of time is oppressive and restraining. And there's entire schools of thought going back from Italy and Rousseau through the modern period that says any social norms or expectations or desires are repressive. That's Freud, that's Rousseau, that's Darwin. There's this idea of like anything, we must be able to act on our instinct and desire instantly or we are oppressed. And you may not have read those people, but you've listened to those pop songs and they say the same thing. As your pastor, but also as someone who's, maybe you're like, you're not my pastor, I don't believe this. I'm telling you, you are right now enslaved to the pursuit of pleasure. That the entire marketplace of the American economy is constantly trying to reinforce to you this message of pleasure now by the means of money, or you're not living your best life. And this is an old way of thinking. It might feel new, it might feel something else, but I want to argue with you is that part of what the Spirit is doing is He's setting you free to having a bigger vision, a bigger mission, a bigger purpose, a bigger timeline, a different set of expectations, and saying, you are acting like animals who only have instincts, who must scratch the desire, otherwise you start acting weird. You're humans, not dogs. We're not just ring the bell, eat the food. There's more going on here. When you believe nothing happens when you die, when you believe that all that's going to happen is you have youth and money, and then eventually the youth wears out and the money goes up, so it kind of balances out, but all you have is the ability to maximize your pleasure right now before you don't know what happens, you are therefore enslaved to the equation of maximize pleasure or waste your life. As long as you are afraid of death, you will be subject to slavery of the passions in the moment all the time.